video every Saturday.
Subscribe to JW Outdoors.
Who's been to Curry Hammock before? Just a few people. Awesome. So yeah, a little bit about Curry Hammock, why I am proud to be here, proud to work here. A lot of people come down to this area of the park and they think this is all there is to it. It's a little beach, playground, picnic area, campground. And that area is right here. So that's our people-oriented area of the park. And it's only several acres, but when you zoom out on this map, you can see that there's so much more to this park than just that people-oriented area. So one of the most significant things to me about this park is that we're holding space for nature. We have 1,100 acres here of conservation land, and that may not seem like a huge amount back in the mainland Florida or anywhere else in the U.S., but here in the Keys you can see it's whole islands we're able to conserve, and holding that space for nature is really important. There's lots of really cool examples of why. One that I like to share is a tree that grows on our hiking trail. It's called milkbark. There's only 24 known populations of that tree in the whole world. So pretty cool. There's so many examples of how we're able to hold space for the native wildlife and also migratory animals, especially the birds. We have a huge bird migration every year in the fall and in the spring. This island of Deer Key, it's on the Florida Birding Trail, and a lot of the birds rely on that island as their last stopping off point before they head across the ocean down to the Caribbean. So super important. Happy to have some undeveloped space where they can do what they need to do before they head on that great migration. So that's just a little bit about our park. If you have a chance to check out the hiking trail, it's probably pretty hot, pretty buggy this time of year. If you're brave enough to check it out, it is really cool. It goes to our tropical hardwood hammock forest. It's basically a forest that's growing out of an ancient fossilized coral reef from hundreds of thousands of years ago. So that's a pretty cool story. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about why mangroves matter. So I like to just start with asking you guys why you think mangroves matter. We're just trying to hit the top 3. And so does anybody have any ideas? Just throw it out there.
Like a nursery for other animals.
So nursery, habitat, and that is something that's big for me. I want to get out there and see some cool wildlife. So the mangroves and the seagrass are a great place to look. It is a nursery, it is a habitat, it's a rookery. So we'll be going nice and slow. The slower we go, I find the more we're able to see, because all the life is really well camouflaged. So if we go too fast, we're going to miss it all. So we'll just take it nice and slow. We actually, speaking of wildlife, we have seen some manatee in the area. So that's one, even though they're giant creatures, they only come up for air every so often. So if you speed through, you will literally miss this, 1-ton animal that's maybe right under your boat. So just keep that in mind. I know it's hard to take it down a notch sometimes, but it really pays off sometimes. And also it's just the luck of the draw. We don't know what we're going to encounter each trip, so each one is a little different. That makes it interesting. We'll just see what we can find. But yeah, wildlife, nursery, rookery, what else? What other reasons do we have why mangroves matter?
Water filtration.
Filtration, that's good. That's usually not the first one that comes up, but people do want to come down here and vacation here because we have this beautiful, clear, clean water, right? That's something we're kind of known for. Well, it's actually important for some of our marine life. So we're going to be looking at what I call solar-powered animals under the water, and we're going to be talking about why clean, clear water is important, and how the mangroves and the seagrass provide clean, clear water. So we're basically going through the filtration system of the Keys, and then there's one more I want to talk about before we get going. Erosion. Yep, that's usually the first one, because we want to live here, we want to vacation here, and if there's no land, we're not going to be doing much of that. So the mangroves are helping to hold the land in place. They're building land. So we're going to be able to see today where the mangroves, just a little strip of mangroves, have done an amazing job to protect our coast. I'll be able to actually point that out to you guys. So that's top 3. There's so many other reasons why mangroves matter, but those are my top 3, and maybe we'll talk about some more along the way. We're definitely looking for wildlife. It's going to be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, give or take, just depending on what we encounter out there. If we see some manatee, maybe we're going to take a little while to look at them, or maybe it'll be a little shorter if we don't encounter anything like that. So an hour and a half to 2 hours left. boat
See
strike.
it coming up there. See the black one?
Cool.
So are they walking on the bottom or
No, they're swimming. It is really shallow, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so sometimes they make it in a little more shallow when they're doing their mating. See this seagrass come up by the loop around where they're hanging out.
The manatees all around us right now.
And then another
Over there.
sign of the manatee.
You see manatees because it looks like they're kicking up sand or dust in the water.
And be careful that very cool. Yeah, we have 4 now.
It's right here. Willie, Mom, you having fun? Walker's doing most of the paddling now. Coral reefs.
Moving pretty fast. Maybe a black tip reef shark. He's still up here. All I'm seeing right now is just a dark shadow, but he's zoomed right under my boat. Roseate Spoonbill.
Yes.
They're flamingo.
Roseate Spoonbill, guys, look, big bird. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Nice spot.
Coming back around. Man.
That's pretty rare.
Oh, wow.
Coming back around.
So like the flamingo, but they just are not as tall. To lose the oil trade-off, they have to dry their wings out by hand, sun in the wind. So right ahead of us, this is what I call the front line, and that is where Hurricane Irma came in and did a good bit of damage to this small narrow strip of mangroves. And what I think is amazing about this is it really shows you what one little strip of mangroves can do to protect our coastline. So if you look from the ocean side to the back side of the island, it's a huge contrast. So thank goodness for this little strip of mangroves.
Mangroves are really cool. They help stop hurricanes from hitting the islands.
And the algae is photosynthesizing using the power of the sun to produce food, nutrients
Oh, you can see him
for
breathing.
jellyfish.
See him
So
breathing?
that's pretty neat. Solar powered
Oh, that one
animals.
just
Who would
turned
have
up.
ever thought of that? So we have
Iguana swimming. Look at that thing. Let's go check it out, Walk. Big iguana swimming. Oh, that is cool.
Why would they not hit the head?
That thing is so cool, man. Look at that. That is awesome. Wow. That's cool. Green bean looking things are sea ponds. We're heading through the mangrove tunnel now. This should be the fun part. I gotta walk. Just put yours down. Through the mangroves we go. Doing good, Walt. Video. I got it, Walt. Did you guys cut out? It's just crawling everywhere. Those things are cool.
Crab. Another crab.
Wow. You see Mama William back there? You can hear the road. The road's not too far away. Really cool. There's land up there though, guys.
You haven't seen the tree
He got us, Walker. He got us. Oh my
black
gosh.
shiny. Bit like a spider, but it's not a spider.
I feel like I'm in Cone where that big
hang 'em off.
spider gets you. Oh my gosh, that was a little rough right there.
Almost there.
Go, Walt. Not too much water, bud. Come through the mangroves. We're back here where we started. Did you guys have fun? 3W Outdoors.
Out.
Walt's pulling us out. Curry Hammock State Park.
Hit the subscribe button for more great videos.